Welcome, guys. Welcome back to another video on the Football Tribe and myself, Shengo. In today's video, we are going to discuss something very important, very serious topic that needs to be addressed because I think this is the right time for us to also be know what we are going to do. Because in Sorare 27, we all know the major leagues are going to come up in the next few days. I mean, the in-season cards via auction or instant buy. So all these cards are going to get released in the upcoming week, where like we have the English second division players. The Championship League is going to come out this evening in another 3 hours, and we have La Liga in another 4 days. Prem in another 7 days, followed by Liga and Bundesliga in another couple of weeks. And what we are going to discuss in this particular video is going to be like whether you need to buy these cards at this moment or not. Because like there is going to be a fear of missing out kind of a vibe to all the managers. Uh, they feel like we need to be part of this particular first weekend matches. We need to be part of the excitement and wanted to take part in the very first match week, match day, be it on the pro or on the leaderboards. So this is going to create a lot of emotional sentiments towards playing the game the very first week, similar to how we play the other games, right? Like say, if you're a FIFA, FC player, you always wanted to buy it a week in advance, go and purchase an EA Play, and then you want to ride the vibe along with the community. So I want to just give you a few examples whether is this a right approach or do you need to just wait for a few weeks and then buy the in-season cards. The reason why everyone buys early is as I said, it's going to be the hype. Everyone talks about the in-season cards which are going to come with the new like say the designs of the cards, the images on the cards, the sentiment or the emotion a manager carries with their favorite club, favorite league, etc. And it's also the fear of missing rewards, to be honest, because Sorare is going to give a boosted reward for the very first 2 to 4 weeks based on the leagues. So and the game modes, because in streaks there is a boosted reward for the first 4 match days, and whereas for leaderboards it's 2 weeks. So it depends. So they have a fear of missing out on the big bonus boosted rewards, and many content creators are going to show up their galleries because like they are doing this for a living, right? Like, because say popular creators are creating content but they are playing the game from the very first week. So this is also going to create a hype for a budget managers to take part in it. So showing up galleries will definitely provoke us to go, okay, let us also go and buy this particular player or take part in the first weekend itself. So the first weekend's excitement is also going to be a reason for this, and that's why a lot of managers are buying very early. And there is a direct proportional to this particular thing, and the prices are going to be like so high because there is going to be very limited supply, and the demand is going to be like way huge than we all expect. And as I said earlier, it's going to be emotional buying, that we need to be part of the very first week, we need to fight for the boosted rewards, and of course the FOMO hits us hard. I'll just show you a couple of examples, two different players from different leagues, and you can just see here that Rafinha, be it the instant buys or the auction, was going around like $200 to $230, $250 in the first week, drops down, and all these blues are still the same auctions and the instant buys here, and drop downs close to 130 140 marks in the very first week. And you can see the public offers from the manager of bought up is already around the early hundreds here, like say 110 120 marks. So the drop is going to be like so huge. If you're really ready for these kind of swings on the prices front, then it's absolutely your call. And if you're a experienced manager, you know how these things works. So, and similarly for Haaland, it was like let's just avoid the first one because there is going to be a collectible thing, 1 of 1,000, the first card. And just take an example from here where the initial auctions and the instant buys are around 200 mark. but dropped less than 100, or stable around 110, 120, which is half the way in a week or two. So a lot of players, and by this time we need to take into consideration, by the first 2 to 3 weeks, the boosted rewards are going to go away, or managers feel like, in hot streaks, as an example, they might be in level 2 or level 3 in the third thing. They might have started it again from scratch from the level 1, and they might have known that they won't be able to hit the level 5 and 6 in another 1 week time, and they will be selling the players as much as possible. If they have bought it for 200, they will be looking at, okay, at least I'll get $150 back, so I'll just sell it here. And it just goes in that way. And this is, the graph doesn't lie, and this is how it will be for this season also. That's what I am anticipating here. And when should we buy instead? If that is a question here, I think you need to have a bit of a patience. I would say, after the first few game weeks, it's best to always buy the in-season cards. And because there are multiple cards that will enter into the marketplace, be it there will be managers who got the rewards and will be crafting league specific cards, and those will be entering into the market. So cards will enter into the circulation, and the prices will definitely stabilize. There will be a downfall on every week, but it gets stabilized, at least not from $200 to $80. There will be a fluctuation between 100 to 70, and again going back to 100 in that way. And it'll be clearer on the injuries and rotations front if you're going to watch for the very first few weeks, and who are all in the starting 11, and which player is being subbed in after 60 minutes, and what is the manager believing in, on the which players the manager believes in, and all these informations are going to pour in after a couple of weeks. And more importantly, the transfers get finalized by the end of August. So it will be very clear which player is going to be playing for which particular team. And you don't need to be way early buying a player for a Prem, but the player is getting transferred to La Liga, where you don't even plan to compete in La Liga, right? So that's going to be a case. So that's get finalized, and better value for money. And if you don't want to just pour your $100 just for a week of excitement, so I think you should just wait for a couple of weeks, in my opinion, if you're a budget manager or a manager who is not ready to spend much into the in-season cards. There are definitely exceptions, for experienced managers or a manager, if you have a budget which is set and you don't have any regrets for buying those, because you have a sentiment towards your favorite club, and you need to purchase the card immediately to play in the very first week, and you expect the player to be become even more expensive. Say a player from a Scottish league is going to get transferred into a Prem, and there is 1 week of transfer market is still being open. And if you are very certain that this transfer is going to happen, and you feel the player is a bit cheap and wanted to invest and just wanted to trade it for a better profit, yes, you can buy early. And if you're chasing early competitions, and if you're just targeting for the boosted rewards, and I think these are kind of exceptions what you can consider. But there is one other thing that I would like to quote here. Sorare has definitely given all the managers a different market credits. So their market credits are into circulations. I think many managers might have just saved their market credits that has been received from Sorare for major leagues cards to flood the market. So the prices are definitely going to be on the premium front. Say $100 player from 2026 August is definitely going to cost us 150 or even more, because a new game mode called Streaks in play, and that is the boosted rewards looks insane. So market credits will definitely affect the player prices in the very first few weeks. So please keep that in mind. So I just wanted to showcase and show the problems if you guys are not looking at when buying a new in-season cards. And this video is specifically for this particular purpose. If you are new to the channel, if you're watching the video for the very first time, if you like that video, please do like the video, and also subscribe to the channel if you are new, and share it with your friends who are also playing Sorare. Until next time, this is Shengiv signing off on the Football Tribe.